At the risk of feeling dumb, we're doing this. Hello, friends, and welcome back to Inception Reactions. We are back on that 21 Pilots 2.0 journey. This week, we have Jumpsuit and Nico and the Niners. I've already done Jumpsuit, so again, at the risk of feeling dumb, we're going to watch my first reaction and see what's changed. Hopefully, it's not too embarrassing. Maybe I'll learn some things about myself. Without further ado, let's do it. Wake up, wake up, wake up. It's the 4th of the month. Hello, friends, and welcome back. In hindsight, I never like my jokes as much, but there's a little Bone Thugs for your morning. Back to Inception Reactions. It is time for week 5 of Top Reaction Journey. Wow. Today, week 5, Trench Saga. A lot of you guessed the songs for this week's theme, and the themes are grief, legacy, and the war against helplessness. Yeah, a lot of you guessed it, and you guessed wrong. There was one person that guessed Neon Gravestones. Yes, Neon Gravestones is our deep cut for this week. First one is called Jumpsuit. Neon Gravestones, I don't know. It's just such a fantastic song. I can't stop listening to it. But you know what? Neon Gravestones isn't this week, so let's keep going. Don't know anything about these songs other than they are on the Trench album, which I think starts the full-on dive into the lore. Hopefully I can keep up. And if I can't, all of you are so very kind to fill in the blanks. Thank you so much for being here. I really, really appreciate you. Without further ado, I still appreciate Pilots, Jumpsuit. All of you. Again, grief, legacy, and the war against hopelessness. Let's do it. I love the bass in the song. Got a video today, and I didn't know off the bat that it was all bass and no other guitars. Been here the whole time.
You were asleep. Time to wake up.
Time to wake up. So this is that. So this is the fire at the end of Heavy Dirty Soul. I really, really liked how they're continuing the Heavy Dirty Soul here with the car burning, and then this is how he ends up in Trench. So cool. There's Trench. I look very confused. Oh, wow. Great shot, by the way, as they came over the river there. And when we're talking about lore, this right away gave me that Lord of the Rings vibe down in that canyon in the river. And then, of course, the horse in the robe, a blurry face. Jumpsuit, cover me. Ooh. Jumpsuit, jumpsuit, cover me. I crumble underneath the weight. Pressures of a new place roll my I can tell I'm really getting into it right away. Those guitars go so hard. Okay. Wow, quite the switch up. I don't know if I have anything to say yet. This is extreme. Yeah, this was the first time where I've heard how hard this band could go. You know, this was week 5, so this is like the 10th song of 21 Pilots I've heard, and I just hadn't heard that type of sound out of them before. It was really, really cool. Oh, quite the switch up. I don't know if I have anything to say yet. This is extremely intriguing. He's asking for his jumpsuit. He's in a new place, like he probably fell from the sky, landed in that creek. He's wandering in this new place, and he's scared and he's alone. I don't quite know yet, but there's things going on around him, and there's people watching him. I'm not sure. Yeah, this might be tough for me. Not tough for me, I don't want to say that, but this is a big switch for this band, and from what I've heard so far. Love those hard-hitting guitar riffs, and there's a part in there where it almost sounds like Tom Morello is still playing the guitar when I hear it. I hear a lot of, actually I hear more Audio Slave than I do Rage Against the Machine, but fantastic. I'm intrigued, very, very intrigued. Very intrigued. Let's keep going. love that. Correct me if I'm wrong, too. I believe this is the first song off of Trench, and I believe there was quite a bit of a break in between Blurry Face and Trench, so this was a pretty big deal when this came out. I don't know if this was the first single off of Trench, though. And so right now, all we know I think this is our introduction to Blurry Face as a separate entity.
I'll be right there.
The black ink.
But you'll have to grab my throat and lift me in the air.
Wow.
If you need anyone,
So good.
I'll stop my plans. But you'll have to tie me down and then break off my head. If you need anyone,
I'm not gonna let you
I'll
take
be
me.
right there.
First of all, that piano just beautifully came in there, and it may have already been in the song and I didn't notice it. There's a lot of different sounds going on, but just that beautiful piano melody. And then as the music gets softer here, let's back up a little bit. So this being has a hold of him, put his Blurry hands around his neck with that black ink, and then so what I was talking about, this is that first time we've seen Blurry Face as a separate entity. So here I didn't quite know if it was Blurry Face or not. I had an assumption in my head that it was, but I didn't want to say anything. Not that I didn't want to say anything wrong, but I just didn't. It was too early in the video. I was assuming it was Blurry Face, but I remembered, through this video that I didn't make the full connection just because of it being the separate entity. In addition, because I've seen Paladin Straight, I also know that Blurry Face is also Nico from Nico and the Niners, the Bishops. All right. Tyler's lyrics here are going into, you're gonna have to hold me up by my neck. Let's just finish this out. Blurry Face always brings him back, going no matter what directions, but you can't escape. Amazing song. That part of you, it's part of you. This, which is okay. When that drum beat comes in here, is just. I do love the flow of the song. When I'm talking about the drum beat here, I'm talking about how it starts out do 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 do, just the super hard, and then when you get to this part and he's following Blurry Face here, it gets soft. I'll be right there, and positive and melodic, versus that dark and heavy. I love it. The way they tell the story just within the music alone, not the lyrics, but the music alone, is absolutely incredible. When that drum beat comes in here, it's just gorgeous. There's the yellow flowers to protect him. Bandito's helping. He can't do it alone, but he has to do it alone at the same time. And then he's just coming in hard again. Look at my face. Like, what the hell's going on? This scene too reminded me a lot of Lord of the Rings, especially at the end of the first movie. I'm kind of like floating away on the river, kind of like this, because they died. Excuse me. Kicking back a little bit, even though this is the end. Let's see what I have to say. I have no recollection. In fact, I don't have any recollection of what I say in any of my videos after I get them posted. I'm just gotta let the chills go through my body here a little bit. Collect. I still get the chills. I'm pretty speechless, I guess. I'm not speechless. And it's not that I don't want to say the wrong thing, because I'm not afraid to be wrong. I just don't know if I don't think I can fully grasp everything with one listen. So very, very Lord of the Rings-ish, and what a great way to get into really deep lore by giving visuals. I didn't realize that. So I learned this after the fact, but you know, the lore goes back to Blurryface, and even some say it could go back to Vessel. But before Clancy, it was all, I don't want to say a mystery, but the lore was kind of created in tandem with the fans, right? So Tyler and Josh made subsequent albums after Blurryface, kind of while listening to what the fans had to say and what they think is part of the lore. So they kind of built this lore over a number of years, but wasn't fully confirmed until Clancy, and which is what started this playlist, the Iron Clancy video. So yeah, we're not really diving deep into the lore here with Trench, as far as I know. But, you know, when we look back in hindsight, the lore was kind of there the whole time, and it builds and builds and builds and builds. And yeah, it's really cool. I don't think Blurryface is involved in this, but again, could be wrong, but it is Tyler falling to the... And remember, so the only time I had heard of Blurryface was from the Blurryface album, and at that point, it was... Blurryface clearly was a part of Tyler, and, you know, when Blurryface showed up on screen, it was Tyler. It was his red eyes. It was, you know, he was the same... It was the same entity, and so that's what I'm saying here is I don't want to say that this is Blurryface when I wasn't quite sure, considering my experience with Blurryface was just Tyler with red eyes and a different voice. Depth of despair. What are our themes again this week? Grief, legacy, and the war against hopelessness. Tyler falling really deep and being taken over by this being that is going to control him. I'll put the depression and the anxiety and the grief into this character. It just grabs a hold of you. It grabs a hold of your neck, the insecurities. To me, that this figure with the hand around the neck and the black ink is telling me this being is part of Tyler, and it's his tough stuff in life that's holding him back. Agree with this assessment. And it's controlling him. And at the top of this canyon are many other people in a jumpsuit, but they're showing that there is hope still. There are yellow flowers, and it's not all barren rivers, and I still feel this way. And at the very end, Tyler is like, peace out. Wow. This one's gonna take me a few, maybe even a couple days and a few listens to really wrap my head around that. I loved that harder sound out of this band. I know they're capable of that hard sound, and obviously Tyler's scream, again, amazing, but you know, Tyler has shown his scream throughout the earlier works too, but the overall sound of the music, a lot harder. Like I said, when you can hear like pieces of Tom Morello, that's pretty hard. All right, that was the main track. I don't know. I'm, you know me, I get a little nervous when I jump into the new stuff. So, Grief, Legacy, The War Against Hopelessness, 21. I don't get as nervous anymore. Sometimes on new songs, when 21 Pilots comes out with Breach, yeah, that might be it. All right, so let's head over to the playlist, and we're getting into Nico and the Niners. By the way, I have not watched The Contract. When I did Paladin Straight, I had audio issues, and I had to re-record the video and audio part of Paladin Straight, and it went right into The Contract. I have not heard it. So I had walked away, and it was still recording, but I have not heard it. 21 Pilots, Nico and the Niners. Let's do it. So this is off a Trench, okay. And so this is the continent of Trench. There must be the city of Dima. Whoa. There's like reverse audio there.
East is up. I'm fearless when I hear this on the low.
East is up. Someone, or a couple people have said that in the comments, and I had no idea what they meant by it. And there we go. East is up. Nico and the Niners. So, from my understanding, these vultures are surveillance for Dima.
East is up. I'm fearless when I hear this on the low. East is up. I'm careless when I wear my rebel clothes. East is up. When bishops come together, they will know that Dima don't control us. Dima don't control. East is up. They wanna make you forget. They wanna make you forget. Save your razor blades now. Not yet. Save your razor blades now. Not yet. I'm heavy. My jumpsuit is unsteady.
Sorry. Wow. Fantastic sound so far. It almost started out with like a reggae sound. And again, another different sound from them. Blending all kinds of different genres.
I'm heavy, my jumpsuit is unsteady. I'm lighter when I'm lower. I'm higher when I'm heavy.
Ooh.
Oh, I'm so high. My jumpsuit takes me so high. I'm flying from a fire. From Nico and the Niners.
Ooh.
Oh.
I love this guitar here.
East is up. I'm fearless when I hear this on the low. East is up. I'm careless when I wear my rebel clothes. East is up. When bishops come together, they will know that Dima don't control us. Dima don't control. I'm heavy. My jumpsuit is unsteady. I'm lighter when I'm lower. I'm higher when I'm heavy. Oh, I'm so high. My jumpsuit takes me so high. I'm flying from a fire. From Nico and the Niners. Oh,
I'm heavy,
Jumpsuit is on
steady,
lighter when I'm
lower,
fire when I'm
heavy.
Hey, Josh.
I'm so
That's their handshake from Blurry Face, isn't it? From Stressed Out. I got chills. They just did a handshake. What the hell? So Tyler, at this point we just know him as Tyler, I think, is escaping Dima. He's telling Dima can't control me. And he thinks he's alone here at first. That he's finding out that he's able to escape this place, but he's by himself. And so he's walking away, and then he gets surrounded by the banditos. And at first, he's not sure who these people are. And it scares him because he's out here on his own in this rundown city that's being watched and all this stuff. It'd be pretty scary. But then he sees the banditos, and as soon as that drops, it's like, hey, buddy. I love the sound layers here, the different low voices and the higher voices. Yep, same one. Oh, I love it. Same one. Look at that smile. Yeah, let's do it. It's that reverse sound they're doing with the video too. That's
What I
really
say
cool.
when I wanna be enough. What a beautiful day for it. Making a break for it. We'll find a way to pay for it. Maybe from all the money we made. Raise a blaze stores. Mental race horse and force a sponsor. And start a concert. A complete diversion. Start a mob, and you can be quite certain we'll win. But not everyone will get out. No, no. We'll win, but not everyone will get out. No, no. We'll win, but not everyone will get out. East is up. I'm fearless when I hear this on the low. East is up. I'm careless when I wear my rebel clothes. East is up. When bishops come together, they will know that Dima don't control us. Dima don't control. East is up. So kidnapped by you.
Incredible. Incredible. See, even though that I know some of the background because of the way we did the 1.0 journey, it's totally okay, in my opinion. I'm still capturing and hearing all kinds of new things, even with Jumpsuit that I've heard 100 times now. It's new. Amazing. So we're introduced to Nico and the Niners, and really at this point, my guess is that we didn't know that red robe person was Blurryface. And after this video, you would assume correctly that it's Nico, even same entity. But I don't know. Maybe you would. You'll have to tell me in the comments. Really love this song. I think it's not up on my favorite yet. Right now, my favorites are Heavy Dirty Soul, Trees, and Mulberry Street, because my son just can't get enough of it. But this was totally fantastic. And it went from that dark, it went from that light reggae and rap into this dark, with that low voice, Nico and the Niners. It was really, really cool. And again, just different. A lot of people that don't get into a band, but they might know their music, they'll often say, oh, it all sounds the same. And it's until you get into a band that you realize that's not the case at all. And I think 21 Pilots might suffer from that a little bit, just because, when we're talking about, I'll even use myself. I'll use myself as an example. I had heard Stressed Out when it came out, and it was, I don't want to say that it was like all the other songs during that period, because it wasn't. It was a new sound, but I felt like I still put them in that era of music that was coming out, new music that was coming up. And I associated their Stressed Out song with a lot of other songs that were coming out at that time that I just didn't enjoy. And so I'd never really got into it. So I just unfortunately made the assumption that, oh, it's just all going to sound the same. And that's just not the case. I've seen so many different genres from this band already. It's insane. What are we at now? 25 songs? Anyway, blah, 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 blah. Thank you so much for joining me today. This chapter is in the books. And yeah, what do you got next on this playlist? Levitate, haven't heard it. Shy Away, I have. Saturday, no. The Outside, no. Overcompensate, no. And Navigating, no. So, and then The Contract. Thank you all for joining me today. If you're not already, you know what to do. Subscribe to the channel. Like this video, share it. Go over to 21 Pilots. Show them all the love in the world. That's why we do it. As always, take care of yourself. Look after each other. And take what you brought with you. Peace.